I didn't think you had it in you.
I'm your huckleberry.
This galaxy ain't big enough for the four of us, so it's time to bring some borderline justice around these parts. My name is Commissar Kai, and today we're gonna be seeing if this new Western-themed Warbond is worth your fistful of super credits. Let's start off with the good before moving on to the bad and the ugly. I promise I won't make Western references for the whole video, but fill your hands, you SOB. Now I'm in a position where I need to purchase all the Warbonds so I can show y'all what's good and what ain't. But when I'm deciding on whether a Warbond is worth it or not for your average Helldiver, I take a few things into consideration. The first is, do the weapons and stratagems unlock new ways to liberate the galaxy? I don't personally care whether a weapon or stratagem is considered top tier or not. I care if it feels good to use, feels a role in a team, or lets me do something I couldn't do before. And the Hoverpack checks all of those boxes nicely.
Oh, Johnny, I apologize. I forgot you were there. You may go now.
Meaning no actual disrespect to the jump pack, it's still good, but the hover variety fills a different role that is much more team play oriented. Instead of offering you additional mobility by making it easier to jump around the map, the hover pack lets you act as the eyes and ears of your team. Because it shoots you straight up and gives you limited flight, it's much easier to reach those high vantage points to get a good look at the surrounding terrain, enabling you to spot those patrols before they ever get close or lay the hurt on enemies approaching your position. Against the bots, there's quite a few ways to make use of this new form of mobility, but there were two that I found to be particularly useful. The first is using it to abuse cover. Now, the bots have rotted their brains with communist ideals, but they ain't so stupid that they won't start firing at your position if you keep peeking the same angle. The Hoverpack lets you rise above and rain hell down on those clankers while still keeping yourself covered behind whatever piece of terrain you've made your temporary homestead. This pairs extremely well with weapons like the explosive crossbow, grenade launcher, or the eruptor, since you can place your explosive shots much more accurately in the centers of groups. Your limited flight will also keep you safe, since once you start firing at the bots, their can't hit the broadside of a barn subroutines will activate, meaning you are much more likely to avoid catching a rocket to the teeth. So keep on the move while you're in the air and keep up the fire if you don't want to be mistaken for a clay pigeon.
Alright, I'm just going in.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah,
The second use I found for it was using the height that it gives you to get better vantage points. And I don't just mean crawling up cliffs, even though that is fun. Sometimes against the bots, the target you want to hit is hidden behind a wall of ornery vending machines. Being able to go straight up in the air and hover lets you bypass the communism and mainline freedom straight into their weak points. Additionally, you can aim down sights, scope in, and even toss stratagems while airborne, which greatly extends the range that you can toss them. This is particularly useful for finding good spots for sentries. Just don't throw them on top of cliffs because they will bounce off. Instead, go up in the air, find a good looking hill, and chunk your little freedom lover on that high ground. It'll be able to cover you and it will split the bot's attention. Or you can just use it to throw eagles and orbitals much farther than you would have been able to otherwise. On bugs and illuminate, you'll enjoy the same benefits, but will have the added option of making a quick escape before you get run over by a charger or swarmed by the hordes of Olus.
Chargers. What the hell?
Sing,
Oh my
please.
god, dude! I'm riding on top of a charger! Yeehaw!
Since these factions have a lot of melee units, going airborne gives you the option to go full scorched earth on their fascist asses. Grab up your inflammable armor and your flamer of choice and make sure they know our planets ain't safe to stand on. I know I felt like a true angel of democracy while I was floating above their heads, cleansing our worlds of the tyrannical taint. I can't say that this is the most optimal strategy, but it was incredibly fun. I even got right to Titan's face and I let him know what I thought of his socioeconomic positions. Yeah! Oh my god! Seriously, y'all, sometimes you just gotta have fun, and the Hoverpack fits this build to a T. It creates a new role in a squad by giving you the ability to perform aerial recon. It helps in combat and enables certain loadouts that would have otherwise not been as good. It's everything you want out of a Warbond, but is it enough to warrant buying the thing?
Looks like Blue Hand Johnny's bandits are deploying heavy weaponry. It's time that we take out our department-issue rifles and show them that a real lawman is prepared for any scenario. Just like that.
He just sat down. The guns in this Warbond are good. They're not revolutionary and they're not the absolute top tier weapons, but they do perform well even on Super Helldive, and they both have a niche to fill. The R6 Deadeye lever action rifle is a good example of what I mean. It comes with a massive 300 damage with medium penetration, which is more than enough to blast away those Devastators, Overseers, or Alpha Commanders. It also comes with a ton of stagger, making it one of the best guns in the game for dealing with these jerks. If you just want a precise gun that can pick the heads off of, say, the bots, this ain't really the tool for that. You'd be much better served by taking something like the Diligence Counter Sniper or even the R63 Diligence, since they're still more precise and they come with more ammo and better reload speed. Whereas if you just wanted raw power, the Slugger shotgun with its recent increase in accuracy is better suited for that role. But if you want both, then the R6 Deadeye is a good choice. That 45x70 pistol round packs a wallop. The only real downsides to this weapon are its slow reload speed and limited ammo capacity. But if you're unbothered by those, then it's a really solid choice, especially against the Illuminate. It will one-tap an Overseer's head, but even if you miss, it'll stagger the crap out of them, allowing you to finish them off at your leisure. The Laz 58 Talon, on the other hand, is a unique and powerful addition to our pool of secondaries. Where the Deadeye is fun to use and has a niche it can fill, the Talon gives real competition to the Senator. It's only medium penetration, but it being a laser weapon means you'll never run out of ammo as long as you manage it well. It also hits real hard with 200 damage and that medium pen, meaning it's great for popping the heads off of Alpha Commanders or fanning the hammer against a Devastator that snuck up on you. It's also, forgive me, laser accurate, so your shots will go exactly where you want them. The reason I say it gives the Senator an actual competitor for the best pistol, not necessarily secondary, is that if you already have heavy penetration elsewhere in your kit, like a heavy machine gun, then you don't really need it from the Senator, meaning the infinite ammo, accuracy, and fire rate of the Talon gives it an edge over the Senator in certain loadouts. Plus you can spin it, which is always a bonus in my book. This leads nicely to the next bit of Borderline Justice, the new armor passive, Gunslinger. For you Senator fans out there, this armor passive was made for you. Our new armor passive comes in a medium and heavy form, with the light version being available on the Superstore. It increases the reload speed of your sidearm by 40%, increases the draw and holster speed by 50%, and reduces the recoil by a massive 70%. Is it a competitive armor passive that can go toe-to-toe with the best? No. But if you really like pistols, then it does make them nearly good enough to replace your primary weapon. It's especially powerful with the Redeemer machine pistol and, of course, the Senator. Weirdly, it ain't great with the new Talon, which was kind of a surprise. The reload speed is pretty much wasted with it being a laser weapon, and I couldn't really tell much of a difference in the recoil. The sidearm draw and holster speeds is okay, but we can use the best emote in the game to negate that completely anyway.
I was just fooling about.
I wasn't.
Draw! 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 Draw!
Because we're getting into town, you know. We haven't had to draw yet. Okay, I know this one ain't strictly in the Borderline Justice Warbond, but since it's so incredibly fun, is part of the Superstore, and has actual uses in combat, I felt compelled to talk about it. Aside from being a method of settling grievances, this emote allows you to instantly draw your secondary with 0 delay. So if you find yourself running dry on your primary and need to get tyranny out of your face, press your emote button and fan the hammer. It takes some getting used to, but once you master using the emote, it gives you an option that is otherwise unavailable anywhere else in the game. Plus, you can have some neat tech with it. Pair it with the Eruptor for your primary and the Talon is your secondary. Fire a shot from your Eruptor, draw, and fire a few shots from your Talon before swapping back for another Eruptor shot. This lets you pour a significant amount of extra firepower at no real cost to you. Just be aware that you cannot reload while in the draw animation. So if you overload your Talon, you will need to move to break the emote and allow yourself a reload. Now for the ugly. We have the new TED 63 Dynamite. This is a chunky throwable option with a large blast radius and 700 damage. Sounds great so far, so what's wrong with it? It just takes way too long to actually go off. You can set the timer for 5, 15, or 60 seconds, but the only use I've found for those longer timers, keeping in mind I've only had the dang thing for 2 days as of recording, is playing a very spicy game of soccer with it. Take your positions. This is your goal. You must defend your goal. Right here, it's this hole.
That hole, okay.
Yep.
From what?
From this.
Oh.
Yep. Oh. Kick it back. It's ticking. It's ticking.
Go, 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 go.
It's practically in.
Oh, nice. There we go. Perfect. The actual explosion is good. It covers a huge area for an explosive grenade, and the damage is fine, but nothing really stood out to me as amazing about it. It clears out hordes of Oatless well, but then it's competing with gas and fire grenades, which both have a much shorter fuse and are more reliable. If y'all found something the dynamite does better than other grenade options, then let me know in the comments. I admittedly have not had much time to play with it, but my first impression was underwhelming. The Booster Sample Extricator is a fine addition for newer Helldivers. It can give up to 10 additional samples with a chance to drop one whenever you drop a big filler. But it doesn't do anything for you combat-wise, and it will take up a slot for more valuable boosters. So if you need samples and want to make your farming a bit more enjoyable, then it's a great addition. But if you're an 1,000-hour veteran like me, then it's basically worthless. Now you know everything worth noting in the Borderline Justice Warbond. But should you buy it? This is one of the most stylish and thematic warbonds we've seen yet. The drip is on point. The weapons feel good to use, even if they're not the best. And the Hoverpack unlocks a whole new playstyle for Helldivers across the galaxy. It has a lot of upsides to it, but if you haven't unlocked warbonds like Democratic Detonation, Cutting Edge, or Urban Legends, then I wouldn't recommend you get this one before those. Unless, of course, you just want to aura farm. Borderline Justice was made for that. It is okay to farm the super credits or spend the $10 if you just like the style. Helldivers ain't a competitive game, so you don't need to worry about missing out on whatever the best pieces of kit are. You can beat level 10s with just a Constitution, throwing knives in the Senator once you've mastered the fundamentals. So it really don't matter where things land on a tier list. What matters is if a warbond will unlock a new way for you to play that you'll enjoy. Borderline Justice lets you live out that Mandalorian fantasy with stratagems and weapons that make you feel like the only law in town. But if that ain't for you, then it's okay to pass this one up and spend your hard-earned cash on other options. Hope this has been helpful for picking out your next warbond. But until next time, this is Commissar Kai signing out.
For me, yeah.
This is a good place to call it. Wait, Jazz, 1 second. Yeah, so I think let's call it a day, but it was a lot of fun. And draw!
I had my sights trained on it.
Draw.